Well, here we go, baby. This is volume 17, the penultimate volume of Teen and Tech. Acerbic? I don't know. Christmas is a season of trust, which is why I'm going to trust this recorder to not fuck up. Alright, this time we're doing Daria's route, or Daria, I don't fucking know. Yes, this is it, fellas. Another night of laughter and camaraderie. Another night of joy and communion with some totally normal teens who would never. Just kidding, idiot. You're still on Alternia. You just know one of these miserable chuckle fucks around here somewhere. Oh god, the main character's kind of getting a bit sick and tired of being friends with everyone. What I don't want in this route, or in these two routes rather, is like timey-wimey scratch bullshit. I mean, it was a good gimmick for like some of the routes, but I actually want to get to know these people. I don't want to be suddenly talking to one of them and then it's just like, oh well, nope. Waiting for the exact right moment to inundate with another disgusting dose of friendship. Are we going to just end up getting sick and tired of everyone and saying, fuck you, I'm going back to Earth? Who is going to be the author of your destruction on this accursed evening? Oh. Lesbian wheezing time. Nikki or Daria? We're going to do Daria. Your feet drag as you walk, every limb heavy and slow, and your thoughts are cloudy and dull. Your palm husk is filled with unanswered texts. You feel guilty about this, in the back of your mind where real feelings live crammed together because the front of your mind is too busy being lethargic and numb. Me. Being a bad friend goes against the core tenets of your beliefs, but answering text just seems like too much effort. You're not sure where this particular malaise came from, just like the usual friend-making animus that drives you is still there, but it doesn't feel strong enough to overcome how tired you are of everything else. You can't quite remember how it felt to care that much about companionship and camaraderie. In fact, right now you can't remember how it felt to care much of anything. You're depressed! Your thoughts drift to fantasies of driving your car into the uninhabited Alternian desert until you run out of fuel, perhaps letting the sun have its way with you. Well, we're depressed. We want to fucking kill ourselves. It could be part of that feeling that you've almost made all the friends there are to make, and that there's little left for you to do on this planet. It could be weeks of trauma catching up and sinking you into depression to protect you from thinking about it all. Either way, it just feels like so much effort to do anything. It's not a welcome of believing that it should rope now to offer its sweet embrace. Me, mood. Your listless walking is taking you into a familiar neighbourhood. Ah, the cerulean part of town. You smile as you reminisce, sweet memories peeking through like beams of sunlight through the fog of your apathy. Not far from here is Malek's hive, with all of its hacking equipment and charming upper-middle-class atmosphere of entitlement and complacence mixed with vaguely socially aware concern. And though you've only seen pictures of it on Chitter, you know that Remele's hipster art studio/hive is also in the neighbourhood. And one block over is Alice's place, which gave you your gruesome and troubling introduction to Alternian social mores. One taught you love, one taught you patience, one taught you pain. Or something like that. That's a fucking good... yeah. These must just be like the fan trolls of other people. The hive you're closest to is actually Elle Woods, and as you shamble closer you realise there are a lot of other trolls seem to be converging there too. Fishing out your palm husk, you see the unread message that Elle Wood is an invitation to a party at her place. Hey, looking around you feel a flame of your old desire to meet and greet rekindling in your heart. There are plenty of trolls here you haven't met yet, plenty of opportunities for friendship. Yay, Elle Wood! The now roaring fire in your belly feels a little artificial, like someone just injected you with friend-making hormones to flood out your regular human melancholy, but you're not going to complain because this is vastly preferable. As you're walking briskly towards Elle Wood's hive, you spot a troll lurking in the shadows by Elle Wood's back door. Curious, you approach. When you get closer, you spot the jade green on her outfit. Although there's not much of a blood colour in comparison to what other trolls seem to sport, because she's mostly wearing black, and spikes, and black spikes. Daria! Ugh, it's you. I try to think of a voice here, like fucking terrible fucking emo teen who listens to, things like Panic at the Disco, unironically. Oh, it's you. Guess it makes sense you'd be here. You're probably friends with Elle Wood, huh? Whatever. Yeah, you're friends with Elle Wood, but you didn't come here for this party, you're just in the neighbourhood. You tried to mimic Daria's disaffected slouch. It's not hard, you can just channel the you from about 60 seconds ago who was very disaffected indeed. From the approving arch of Daria's eyebrow, you think you're doing a pretty good job. Yeah, parties are lame. Most parties are anyway. This one might be cool. Elle Woods pretty cool. Oh, she's blushing. Everybody, she's blushing. I mean, she seems alright. I don't think she's that cool. I just think her hair and clothes and personality don't completely suck is all. Oh! Does Elle Woods just have this way with Jade Bloods? You tactfully don't comment on the green blush to Doria's cheeks when she's talking about Elle Woods. All the way she keeps glancing at the door like she's hoping someone will invite her in. She's clearly trying to sneak into this party and doesn't have an invite. When a branch snaps in the bushes, Doria startles and looks around shiftily. You wonder if she's supposed to be out on her own this far from the caverns at all. I'm not a baby like Wan Chi. So what if I snuck out? The cloister rules are so lame. Bronny is so lame. I can't believe Elle Woods used to hang out with her, but I guess if she hadn't befriended Bronny, then I never would have met her. Oh, that's gay and cute. So that's to meet non-Jade Bloods in the caverns. All the time you're underground with nothing but loose iron grubs and the same stupid jades every day. It sucks down there. Dry's imitation grub horn bracelets clunk as she folds her arms over her chest. Her heavy makeup makes it look like her eyes are twin black holes, where all sense of fun and caring about things might go to die. She's giving you a marked contrast from how Bronya talked about the caverns with the peace and quiet and safety they offered compared to Alternia's surface. And other than that time Lanera nearly killed you in a cave and that time you were nearly trampled by a rampaging Lucis, you remember liking the caverns. Pfft, you would think that. I don't know why I thought you might be cool. You might be friends with Elle Woods, but you're also friends with Bronya and Lanera. They're the two most boring trolls on this planet. You kind of feel slightly defensive of your friends. Sure, Lanera is Lanera, but you wouldn't call her boring. And Bronya is very fond of rules, it's true, but she can hang. Ugh, whatever. This conversation is dumb. I don't care if you can't get me to the party. Nothing matters anyway. Just make your stupid choice and get on with it. Oh, come on. Everyone's just aware of how this is. It's a simulation. Do we have autosave? Well, I guess we have a quick save now. Suggest she goes home, party hard. Okay. What the hell? It's not your job to keep anyone in line, and it's not like you have a great understanding of why even the older Jade Bloods need to stay underground anyway. If Daria wants to sneak into parties and get into trouble, who are you to say no? Daria expresses no pleasure at your decision just to get into the party. She just shrugs and rolls her eyes. You shrug and roll your eyes back. You can play the role of disaffected teen with the best of them. You take her around the front door. Hey, you're looking forward to seeing Elle Woods again. When you met her, you didn't have nearly as many friends as you do now, and in retrospect, you know you came off as kind of sycophantic. Wouldn't it be great if you could introduce Elle Woods to the new popular and knowledgeable you? As you're walking up the steps, a huge shadow... Oh! Oh! Chut! Oh, yeah! Chut! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh... Chahut. Is this gonna be like Chahut and Elle Woods? Like, being mate spirits? Oh my god, it's Chahut! Ah! Ah! A huge shadow dwarfs yours. You look up to see Chahut of all trolls grinning above you. Yeah, boy! Well, hey, little one. Ooh. I'm having the lesbian vapors. I remember you. There was this new little one you've got with you. Chut switches her interest from you to Daria, grinning down at her. Daria isn't huge for a Jade Blood or anything, but she seems absurdly tiny with Chahut looming down at her like that. Her face remains impassive and bored, but she scuffs one of her big black boots on the ground and twists one of her spiky bracelets around on her wrist. Cute. Oh, God, I'm gay. Don't see many little jades outside of the caverns. I've always found greenies fascinating, so devoted to the continuation of the species. What a holy mission. Charlie, so... Oh, yeah, Daria's like me right now. That's like, oh, Hussy is just, well, not Hussy, but whoever's writing this route, I didn't look at the credits first, giving the lesbians everything they want. She'll move slow and lazily, like she has all the time in the world and no conceivable reason to rush, and reaches out to pat Daria's shoulder. She lets her hand linger, one claw resting against Daria's neck. God, I wish that were me! Ain't it a dangerous proposition to be so far away from your green brothers and sisters? Unless you're hiding something in those pretty veins. I don't know why I'm doing such a good voice for Chahut. I'm not a top or anything. A slimy chill runs down your spine. Dariah seems frozen to the spot, staring straight ahead at Chahut's bosom in front of her. You think Chahut is joking, but well, it can be hard to tell with clowns. Their humour is just so much more highbrow than everyone else's. Hey, it's a double lesbian night. Just joking. This looks like a good party, even if Elle Woods is too blasphemous for my taste sometimes. See both of you little ones inside? Ooh! Absolutely. Then she ambles away, bending down to duck inside the door to the party. You hear party sounds, music and laughter and clinking drinks, and what could be the sound of someone being murdered, which qualifies as party noise on this planet. The door swings shut again, and you and Dariah look at each other. Dariah's heavy makeup can make it hard to read her expression, but you can still tell that she's rattled. You know what? Looks like this party is filled with lame conformers. All these high bloods that bind to the system and do what they're told. Even Elle Woods. We can find something better to do somewhere else. Just, come on! You should have gone inside. You'd had a chance with Chahut. Jesus. Yeah, to hell with this party. You're down to find your own fun, especially if that means not putting Dariah in the way of potentially murder-happy clowns. Ugh! God! I don't like this. I want to fucking go inside and make out with Chahut. As you saunter away from the party, you realise that Dariah is looking at you expectantly. Well, you got this reputation for being all unconventional and weird and rebellious. Everyone seems to think that you're, totally fucking with the conventions of society or whatever. So you got any suggestions for cool shit to do? God, you've sure felt a lot of pressure to be quirky since word has spread about your manic pixie dream alien ways. It's not like you're trying to be a vehicle for other characters to project onto, assisting in character growth and insight for those around you while your impulse decisions and carefree ways somehow keep you yourself stagnant and forever unchanged. It just seems to sometimes be like that. Anyway, you're tired and it's daunting to have a punk teen expecting you to come up with suggestions for cool stuff. You have a feeling that she's just going to shoot down whatever you suggest. You rack your brain trying to think of anywhere that your many adventures that Dariah might like. Your think pan comes up with zilch and squat, and she's starting to look bored with you. Confessing that you can't think of anything is probably an option if you want Dariah to be your friend, and as exhausted and disillusioned as you feel with your socialite routine, you like her and you want to bond. They auto-saved? Yeah, they're auto-saved. Let's wander the street like hoodlums. Here's the thing, your weirdest and best adventures have happened when you've decided to be spontaneous and just let shit happen. Adventures and coolness are both hard things to plan. So what are you suggesting, that we just wander? Her derisive tone makes you hesitate, but, well, yes, that's exactly what you're suggesting. Dariah gives you a long, considering look. You hold your breath, and she shrugs. Okay, whatever, sure. Not like I have anything better to do. Let's just go. You meander through the well-maintained cerulean streets, heading downtown. This seems like a good opportunity to get to know your new potential friend, so you start by asking you some fairly simple questions. How am I? Gee, I don't know. I'm forbidden to leave the stupid caverns, and as a J-blood, all I have to look forward to is a life of being forbidden to do things. How do you think I am? Okay, try to walk that one back a little. Sounds like Dariah is unsatisfied with the J-blood setup. That's one way to put it. You could also say that I'm unsatisfied with the whole setup of my species. You've been here for a while now, and don't tell me you notice that every part of our society is transparent bullshit. Hey, we could, I remember when everybody used to ship Dariah with Theseus, even though Theseus has a mate spirit. God, I hope we don't get a fucking scratch in this, a scratch glitch in this fucking thing. Because Dariah is just, being so totally out there about being nonconformist. You glance around because Dariah's right. You've been around for a while, and that means you know enough to know if the wrong people overheard this kind of talk, you'd both get cold on the spot. But everyone here seems distracted by their own nonsense. Cautiously, you can see that, yeah, you've noticed a certain bullshit aroma. Yep, it all stinks. No one has any kind of real future except for the highest of the high bloods. Actually, I've heard that things pretty much suck for them, too. Some might say that purple bloods are the most disprivileged class of them all. Where have I heard that one before? From Zebra. You're just going to continue to not comment on that one. Instead, you point out that being a J-blood, Dariah has a purpose beyond just growing up to become fodder in the Imperial Army, like you've heard other trolls mentioned. Surely that counts as a real future. Ugh! Don't get me started. Suffice to say, I'm not exactly hype about the purpose that I supposedly have. More like the purpose that was arbitrarily assigned to me. But it's not like I have a choice, and rebelling in any sort of real way would put me in danger of a culling. Life here is pretty much just hopeless. Damn, you wish you had a good counter-argument. You want to give us some words of comfort, but what can you even say? Daria's right, shit's grim. At least you're honest. Thanks for not bullshitting me. You know, Linnea said you were good to talk to about real stuff. I guess she was right. You're surprised that Linnea is going around talking about you, saying positive things even. But you're more surprised that Daria is bringing her up in a non-derisive context. You didn't know that Daria and Linnea were close. Of course they're not fucking close. Ugh, no, gross. I hate Linnea. And not in a romantic way. Oh, well. Anyway, never mind. Is she black for Linnea? Holy shit. Daria looks embarrassed and flustered and also pissed at you. At least you've gotten the subject away from how hopeless everything is, but still, you don't want this friendship to sour. As you're scanning your useless brain for a tactful subject change, you're saved by this footsteps of a new troll approaching. Who is it? Tisius! Hey! Oh, everyone's just gonna get, what they want, because Tisius and Daria used to be, a pretty popular ship until there was Tisius and Stelsa, and then just before Tisius and Stelsa, there was Tisius and Marsti, which obviously crumbled. And as luck would have it, you know this troll, it's Tisius! Which makes sense, because your meandering has taken you and Daria close to Tisius' favourite book hive. Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? Never... Oh, Jesus. What them fucking words mean? Never mind, I don't even need to ask. You're obviously making friends with this Jade Blood. Searching for some dumb shit to do, no doubt. Why is Tisius, pissed off or something? Holy shit. Don't let me keep... Oh, she does 4 ends. Oh. Let me keep you. Tisius looks just as exhausted as you remember. You don't want to go just yet because it's been a while since you've seen her and you're always eager for an opportunity to catch up with a friend, especially one of the less murderous ones. Then you notice Daria eyeing Tisius as mud of unidentifiable liquid and an idea occurs to you. You get excited, bouncing a little on the balls of your vestas. You introduce Tisius and Daria to each other. You explain to Tisius with a meaningful look that you hope she'll interpret correctly that you and Daria are just conversing about the more unjust aspects of Alternian society and how hopeless everything seems to be. Oh shit. Has the scratch in Foz's root affected Tisius as well? That's what I was worried about. Unless Stelsa kind of, convinced her that her rebellious thing is just a phase, or that there's just too many high bloods around here. What do you mean, the more unjust aspects? Does Alternian society have aspects that are not unjust? Oh, fuck! No, please! Don't let this happen! I'm sweeps into studying our legal system, and I haven't found any. Daria makes a muffled sound that could be a laugh. You make your meaningful look more meaningful. Oh, shit. Fuck. Oh, no. No, please don't let Tisius... No, please. Doesn't Tisius remember that conversation she had with you about justice and the shitty system? The importance of possibly futile words trying to improve things someday? Pissing? Tisius squints at you, then takes a long slurp from a mug. Right. Yeah, I remember. You wave your hands around, now we're talking. Tisius is one of the few friends you've made that seems to not only notice that shit was fucked, but to dedicate herself to unfucking the shit as much as she could. Of course, many of your dear friends try to feel better in various clumsy, interpersonal, distinctly Alternian ways. You think of Chixie striving for her music, even when it pits her against high bloods. The baffling but sweet ways that Colonel Anastasia and Gallic and Segura care for each other. Oh, Gallic and Segura care for each other. And Foz's commitment to political... Wait, why did you think of that guy? He's a total shill for the Condes. Anyway, Tisius has a big picture mentality and a cause that she believes in, and the simple fact that she hasn't yet completely given up is inspiring. Fuck, that means the good ending for Fozzer while being a fucking conformist is canon. Daria is struggling with feelings of despair, so maybe Tisius could talk to her about the work that she's been doing. What? No, I'm not struggling. It's whatever. I don't even care. Daria kicks at the ground sulkily. Tisius looks her over, her eyes lingering on the jade symbol on her shirt and her spiky black jewellery, then sighs. Sure you don't care. I went through a phase of telling myself that too. I thought it would make it easier to deal. But nah. Theseus pauses for another mug slip, and you think she might be enjoying the opportunity to monologue a little bit. Daria huffs. The only thing that helps, and I'm not even sure that helps is the right word for it, is finding something to work on in your own little corner. Try and make shit a little less but there's nothing I can do in my corner. It's pointless to pretend otherwise. And that goes for everyone, like this whole system is designated to help high blood stamp out dissent in every corner. One troll can't do anything against something like that. Theseus' eyebrow twitches as she stares at Daria, clearly peeved at being interrupted. Uh-oh, this could be going better. Well, no shit. What do you take me for? Are we gonna get black rum here? I'm not saying that all it takes is standing up and fighting for what's right or something stupid like that. That's obviously a surefire way to get cold. Well then, what are you saying? How could you even know whatever piddly little action you're taking will change anything? I can't tell you the future, dumbass. No one will give you a guarantee that any kind of action taken will be ultimately effective. You have to decide for yourself that it's worth it to try anyway. Why would you think it's worth it when everything around us confirms that nothing will ever change? I can't believe you're calling me a dumbass when that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Theseus looks like she's about ready to throw the contents of her mug in Daria's face. Knowing trolls, she'd probably follow up with the mug itself. This is not the conversation you'd hope for. Fuck, are we getting black crumbs here? Theseus, yeah. You step in before things can get more heated. You tell Theseus that you're sorry and that you didn't flag her down just so that her ideas could get shit on. You turn to Daria, who is staring at both of you with a defiant look on her face and a stubborn set to her jaw. This kid, she's just so dead set on rebelling against anyone who tries to tell her anything with even the faintest whiff of authority. You really thought that maybe all that attitude could be channeled into something productive that would also help her feel better and possibly even give her a sense of purpose. You're not mad, just disappointed. Ugh. Don't give me that look, okay? I was just stating my opinion. But I guess I could have been less of a bone bulger about it. You're pleasantly surprised that Daria more or less apologised. Theseus looks mollified too. This shit just makes me so angry. Angry and sad and helpless. Like I don't know what to do with myself when I really have to think about it. Bingo, unfortunately. I feel the same way. I don't think there's any getting around the helplessness, but what I was trying to say is that working on something that might help fix things someday makes that feeling a little less powerful. So what you're saying is it's just about making yourself feel better? Well, when you put it like that, it sounds bad. I believe I'm working on things that might affect change someday, even if I'm not around to see it. But also, yeah, most of the time it helps me sleep at night too. Sleep at night? Oh yeah, because, just working all day, probably. You can tell Daria's a bit disappointed by this. Like she doesn't trust that political rebellion could go hand in hand with making the rebels feel good about themselves. He points out that whether or not Theseus feels good about her work doesn't mean the work itself is any less effective. Yeah, in the end the universe doesn't care about how I feel. I'm just one troll trying to do the right thing. Or at least the okay thing. For its own sake, even if it might ultimately be futile. What the fuck are we gonna do on this bitch of an Alternia? You've got me there. I'm bored all the time and there really isn't anything cool to do down in the caverns. I guess during the downtime in my training I could, help you out maybe? Not that I have anything to do other than the book hive and the jade cloisters. Access to that might really help with my research actually. Just give me your number and we can talk. Hey! They've thrown some oil onto the Daria x Theseus flame again. Hooray. Is it just imagination, or does Theseus look a smidgen less tired? The bags under her eyes less baggy and her back a little straighter, and you think the corners of Daria's lips might be very slightly quirked up. Daria turns to possibly a smile from Theseus to you. This was cool, I guess. Or at least not so bad. But I don't know if it counts as something cool, so I guess we could keep hanging out until more shit happens. You know Daria well enough now to recognise this for the ringing endorsement that it is. You're about to happily agree when Theseus pipes up. I'm not just heading home from studying, but I'm not tired yet. If you wanted a third wheel to drag along, Yay! Yay! Oh fuck, I love Tisius. I'm so glad that, like, yeah, she was just trying to keep herself safe from the thing. Cool. Anyway, let's load and go for the bad endings. Let's do the second choice first. That was a lot of shit to talk about and I didn't understand any of it. Don't know, what do you want to do? You tell Dariah that you have no ideas for cool things to do because everything on this planet is lame. But she's from here, doesn't she know of any non-lame places to go? Ugh, I told you, I'm stuck underground all the time. It's not my fault that I'm literally sheltered and never get to do anything fun. Oops, maybe this was the wrong approach. She seems pissed at you. But then Dariah sighs loudly and uncrosses her arms from her chest. I do know of one place that's pretty alright, I guess. Better than here, anyway. It's far, though. Not a problem. You've got wheels. You were walking around the neighbourhood because, well, you felt lifeless and glum and your car needs alien fuel, which you've been reluctant to ask someone how to get because you don't want to be told it runs on grub grease, something like that. Now you have purpose again, and you're more than willing to provide transportation in service of your new friendship goal. You take the ride to your car parked a few blocks away, and she directs you where to go. You drive through the neighbourhood after neighbourhood, through the yellow blood slums where you met Follicle and Cuprum, the busy urban sector where you had adventures with Tagora, and the austere indigo blood enclave where Galek lives. Eventually the buildings get sparse, and you think about how you were yearning to drive out into the barren landscape and not die maybe, but stop, just let it all end. That's called dying, mate. You don't think Dariah would take you away out here just for you to both meet sweet oblivion, but who knows, trolls can be kinda hard to predict. Just when you think you've reached a point where there can't be any more city or suburbs left, a rubble of massive old buildings comes into view. It looks like a miniature version of the main Alternia city they used to, except it's all abandoned and mostly ruined. Nothing around here looks inhabitable. Rumour has it that some of the trolls who lived here pissed off the Condus, so she called this whole town. That would have been way back in the day. It's ancient history now. If there are any survivors, I guess they'd either be dead or up in space. Anyway, all these old buildings are kinda sick. There's never anyone else here, and I'm into that. You drive until she tells you to stop in front of a huge crumbling building, and even though this thing is half gone, you can still tell it's a mall. It seems a bit different from the mall you visited with Polyper, even aside from the fact that it's totally dark and there's no one inside it. It seems more old-fashioned, a lot like one of your familiar Earth malls. Every dystopian movie you've ever seen has taught you to be extremely wary of abandoned malls, and you feel pretty nervous as Dariah takes you up the rickety frozen escalator. It's so dark you can barely see your hand in front of your face. You try not to show your fear because you don't want to look like a wuss in front of Dariah, but you can't hold back a whimper when your foot lands on a step that makes a distinctive about to collapse noise. Don't be scared. It's okay, I've climbed all over this place 1,000 times, and anything that isn't already disintegrated is sturdy enough. And there's no risk of cooling out here because, well, everyone's already been cold. She's gentler towards you than you would have expected, given her cynical and spiky demeanour. You swallow your fear as you reach the top of the escalator and tell her that it's chill, you just have some horror movie associations. Dariah turns and pats you stiffly on the arm. You never would tell her this, but her reassuring manner once she's noticed someone is in distress kinda reminds you of Bronya. It's worth it when you get to the cool part. Come on. Shit continues to be dark for a while, though you see some light up ahead. As you get closer, the hall opens up into a food court, and you see the light as moonlight shining through the mostly absent roof. And Dariah was right, there is something extremely surreal and cool about a decrepit, empty food court with the roof caved in. Rubble sits atop cafeteria tables, and plastic food trays are scattered on the floor, and okay, that might be the remains of a troll skeleton, still wearing a mostly disintegrated fast food uniform, which is less cool and makes you remember that this place is abandoned because the Condor sent drones here to murder everyone. You want to know the weirdest thing about this mall? It seems like actual adults used to maybe work here. I've gone through a lot of the stores and some of them are for adult-sized things. There's a store for just like shit the drones bring you now. There's army supplies for going off-world too. If this mall was for adults, it must be really fucking ancient. Jeez, has it really been that long since there are any adults on this planet? Even after all your time in Alternia, this still kind of freaks you out. What must that be like to grow up entirely without adults? To live on a planet that's nothing but kids? Dariah gives you a weird look. What would it even be like to have adults down here too? That sounds way more dangerous and stupid. It's not like we're all wigglers. Trolls have to grow out that mindset pretty fast. People have responsibilities and whatever the fuck, or at least they pretend to. And there's training and stuff for Jades. We're basically trapped. Maybe you think that a planet of kids would mean you can do whatever you want, but I've never had any freedom. And I'll have even less as an adult. Cloistered Jades aren't even allowed to join the Imperial Army. Instead, we get shipped off to live in isolation. We're forbidden to contribute genetic material to the slurry, and no paling is allowed once we mature. Rip. For some, I don't know, bullshit old-fashioned reason I pretty much don't understand at all. Alternia, your whole future is decided the second you hatch. People tell me all the time that I have it lucky as a Jade blood, but I don't feel lucky at all. Oof, yeah. You agree with Dariah that the future she just described sounds bleak as hell. Right? It's going to fucking suck. So shitty that I have it good. At least I'd have a certain early death in my future, unlike a lot of low bloods. The system is so fucked up and I'm never going to change and I hate it here. I just want a way out of it. Maybe when you go back to your home planet, you could take me with you? Oh! Yay! Dariah on Earth. The request comes out of left field. For a few seconds you just blink up at her stupidly. Even with all that angry black makeup around her eyes, she just looks so sad. Sad and lost. You wish you had a different answer to give her, but you tell her that you can't take her back to your planet because you don't know how, when, or if you're ever going home. You've been trying not to contemplate the future because on the rare occasions that you do let yourself think about it, existential dread tends to take over. Dread. Yeah, that's the word for it. The older I get, the more I realise how shitty things are. I try not to think about it, just like you. But it still hits home sometimes. When it does, I don't feel like angry or rebellious. So I feel completely fucking paralysed. This too is a familiar emotion to you. You feel for Dariah, who has wandered over to the middle of the food court and is staring up through the cave in at the moons. She has her arms wrapped around her middle, and the spiky jewellery and jagged haircut and big black boots don't do anything to make her look less small. You wish you knew what to say to make her feel better. You've done a decent job at cheering up dejected trolls in the past, but it's hard when you're feeling so crappy about your own situation. You mutter something about how things could still get better, you never know what the future holds, yada yada yada, and she looks at you like she knows just how hollow your words are. You sound just like Bronya. Next, you're going to tell me how important Jade Bloods are and what an honour all this responsibility is? Give me a break. Optimism is for chumps and losers. Keeping grub safe doesn't matter. The continuation of our species doesn't matter. No, I can't fucking speak. I'm just like kind of droning on and on. I've got like kind of nothing to say about most of this because I kind of don't understand because I'm a fucking dumbass, but still. Yeah, I kind of know how she feels. Nothing any of us do fucking matters. You feel your blood getting hot to match the steel that's now in her voice. A sick part of you finds this train of thought a lot more viscerally satisfying than trying to cheer her up, which wasn't working anyway. You stamp your feet and so does she. I can't believe anyone bothers trying to carve out a real life on this worthless shithole of a planet. There's no point, we might as well all be culled. In the back of your mind, you know you should be disagreeing with some of this, but you're too worked up to care. Maybe Dariah's right, maybe nothing matters. That's fucking right. Maybe I should just quit. You falter in your righteous fury. Maybe quitting is going a bit far. Oh god, I hope we don't get to see Dariah killing herself. Maybe the Highbloods that just go around causing death and destruction just because they can have the right idea. This is starting to not sound so great. What doesn't sound great about it? Who cares if I decide I want to be a caretaker and instead I just burn shit down for fun? There's no point to anything, so what does it matter? Who cares? Dariah's hands are balled into fists and her teeth are bared as she glares at you. You open your mouth maybe to tell her that you care, even though that would probably sound trite, but no words come out. She scoffs and turns away from you and jumps up on a crumbly-looking cafeteria table. You know what? Fuck this. Friendship is as pointless as everything else. She picks up one of the chairs, and you really need to stop being surprised at the strength of even the scrawniest-looking trolls and hurls it at the nearest fast food stall. You thought it was just a random throw at first, but it appears she was aiming with precision because it crashes into a tank of fuel connected to the oven. You're not sure how Alternian cooking technology works, but the stall explodes a huge green-tinged fireball that knocks you on your ass. Oh god, yeah, we just saw Dariah kind of killing herself. You're watching horror from your ass-level vantage point as the flames lick into the restaurants on either side. Explosions happening around the food court like dominoes. Dariah stands on the table in the middle of it, unmoving, even as fire threatens to envelop her. This is probably the only place I actually like on this whole planet. So good riddance. If it's gone, one less thing to care about. With all the dust and debris, the mall is coming down fast around you. You desperately want to get Dariah out of here, but you desperately want to save yourself more. Dariah doesn't look like she wants to be saved. Hey, fuck character. I want to save this. You make a feeble attempt going over to her and trying to grab her around the waist to get her out of here, but she kicks you out in the chest. Her steel-toed combat boots send you flying, and it's once again 0 days since you last broke your ribs. As used to this pain as you are, it still takes you a second of lying on the floor in agony before you can push yourself to look back at the food court. A wall of fire now separates you from the tables inside. You can't even see to right anymore. Your heart sinks. Maybe she'll come to her senses and pull herself out of danger and escape through the caved-in roof. Maybe she'll get out some other way. You stumble to your feet, half thinking that maybe you can find water or a fire extinguisher in some part of this moor that isn't burning up, but smoke chokes your lungs and in your panic, your human survival instincts take over. You dash down the escalator as more infrastructure starts to crumble around you, and you don't want to abandon Darai, but it's all you can do to get your own sorry self out of there alive. Oh god. Oh no. Are we still recording? Yeah. Let's go for the first bad choice. Suggests she goes home. Thinking about the Jadeblood Caverns has got you really missing them. The quiet monotony, the cute little grubs, the dank air and darkness. You can't think of a better place to lie down and have a depression nap, perhaps even a depression coma. So you straighten up out of your slouch and tell Daria that regardless of her opinion on Bronya, how cool or lame she is, those cloister rules probably exist for a reason, right? Maybe the two of you can go back to the caverns together. Ugh. Fine, be a goody two-strut pod engagement. I'm gonna go somewhere it's not so lame. Lame. That's amazing. I actually really like this. I really like this route. Because, it's Daria being a rebellious teenager. She's got kind of good reason to do it. She's not just doing it for the sake of it. It was really good. I liked it a lot. So, I'll pause now, take a drink, and then I'll do Nikki's route. Woo!